world, an army of 500,000. What is the greatest light in the world? The greatest light in the world is to realize you can still do it. You can still do it. And even if the whole world tells you you'll never make it, if nature tells you, if every professor in the world says you can't, but you know who tells you you can? This inside light. The deepest, deepest light in the world. You know what the greatest light in the world is? The greatest light in the world is that you can do it. I wish you can do it. There is nothing in the world you cannot do. There is nothing in the world. Someone shows you black on white, hey, you can't do it. This light will last for one day, then it's over. Do you know what the land of Israel is all about? Everybody says, oh, forget it, it's over, right? Don't you see they're the majority, more than the majority? They stone you out, they stone you in. Everybody's against you, give up. Move out. Give out. You know, when you and I, when we come to the Holy Wall, what is shining into us? You know what's shining into us? You can always do it. You can still do it. And you have to do it. And it's so good to do it. And it's so easy to do it. I want you to know, friends, everybody's asking, why don't we celebrate the military victory? And again, I mentioned it last night. Let it be clear to you, friends. You know how I know that the Maccabees, the unbelievable heroes? Because world history is completely ignoring them. I don't know if it's sounding anti-Semitic or anti-anti-Semitic. Do you know the world is ignoring the Second World War? Story about the 6 million? They don't mention it. In the history books of the world, it does not appear. Maybe 2 sentences. I mean, the greatest crime history of the world. Killing 6 million people. So many messiahs are coming today. What's going on there? Friends, the floor is big. I just want to sing another song, but I just want to finish what I'm saying. You know, my beautiful friends, according to holy tradition, Chanukah, the festival of light, is the end of Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, I'm standing before God, and I tell God all my mistakes, and I say to God, I'll be better next year. How does it sound to you? It's okay, right? Can you imagine me standing over the Chanukah lights and telling God all my mistakes? You know what God would tell me? Could you please change the subject, really? What's going on with you? You're talking about darkness in front of so much light. You know what Chanukah is? When I kill the Chanukah light and my soul is shining into me, I realize, despite all the mistakes I ever made, Gewalt am I strong. Gewalt am I everlasting. Gewalt, I can do it a million times. You know what you bench Chanukah licht, friends? I don't know, some of you are privileged to see, not, someone who's just, I once saw a person in between phone calls, benching Chanukah licht, and while he's one hand candling, the other one he's dialing. I'm not talking about this kind of Chanukah licht benching. The real me. The real. Putting your heart on fire. You know, beautiful friends, let me ask you, how many of you and I and all of us, how often have we ever tasted the light of our own soul? Forget about the world, forget about the rest. My own soul. What do we know about ourselves? I know a lot. I brush my teeth, wash my face, put on a clean shirt. What else do you know? I have a few books. What else? I have a few titles hanging on the wall. What else? What do you know about your inside? And I don't mean our psychological inside. Soul inside. The inside of the inside of the inside. And you know, friends, on Hanukkah is one holiday. Every person has to kindle his own candle. You know why the world is so special? You know, Nachman says only a yente says the same thing twice. Right? God doesn't do the same thing twice. You know why the world is so beautiful? There is not one country the same like another country. There is not one human being the same like another human being. And you know what the biggest downfall of a family is? That parents think, because they're my children, they're the same like me. It's not true. Yes, I'm the father, the mother, my children have their own life. So much life. And I want you to know, according to a holy tradition, Chanukah, when you bench Chanukah licht, first of all, you can see your own light. What a privilege, what a privilege for a person once in their life. You know, friends, if I have $2 million in the bank, I'm not standing on street corners begging for quarters. You know the way we live? Like spiritual beggars. We are millionaires. We are billionaires. We have so much. We have so much. Gewaltig are we rich. You know, friends, if every person in the world would know how much they have in their heart, they wouldn't have time to hate. What's there to hate? I am I, you're you. And I'm so glad you're you. Because you're something else. Have you ever heard an apple and a pear having a world war? You know, chutzpah. I'm an apple, how come you're a pear, right? Have you ever seen like a horses and oxes? I mean, this is really terrible. Oxes say to a horse, chutzpah, how dare you being a horse? A horse is a horse, an ox is an ox. And we human beings are so slow in learning. I mentioned it last night. You know what was the most terrible thing? The Second World War, the Germans? They gave people numbers. Hanukkah is anti-numbers. Anti-numbers. And here I want you to know something awesome. You know what's so bad about going into war, God forbid? What happened to the soldiers? Their numbers. They stop being an individual. Do you know why the Maccabees won the war against the Greeks? Because the soldiers of Judah Maccabee were not numbers. Everybody has a name. Everybody has a name. And Chanukah, at the end of the prayer, it says, "L'hodos u'l'halel l'shimcha agudol," to your great name. You know how I make God's name small? When I give people's numbers, when I give people numbers. People who are created in God's image. Chanukah, every person has a different light. And you know, my beautiful friends, I'm sure you too, I travel a little bit around the world. What a privilege to see the light in every country. I want to share with you something awesome. You know, King Solomon had 1,000 wives. So if some of us are very coarse, say, you know, real playboy. But anybody who knows, this is not where it's at. You know what the story is? King Solomon wanted to taste the light of every country in the world. He wanted so much. He wanted so much to know what the Chinese are all about. He wanted to know what Sweden is all about. He wanted to know what the Eskimos are all about. So the Zohar Kodesh says he married in every country the one girl who embodied in her soul the deepest depths of that country. The deepest depths of that country. You know what we're doing on Hanukkah? Here I'm a Jew, I'm kindling the inside of my light, and I open the door to the world. I say, world, please, please, can you let your light also shine? Can you open all your doors? Can you open your doors also? I want to know more than where you are. It's not enough for me to know that Rome is in Italy, Athens is in Greece, and in Amsterdam is in Holland. I want to know the inside of the inside. Inside of the inside. You know, friends, you know what light is? Light is this one thing which has no words. Because if it has words, it's beautiful. But then it's the light of information. The real light, the light behind all those lights. Sometimes you have to go through so much darkness. You have to make so many mistakes till you get there. You know, I don't have to tell you, friends, right now the world is really on the crossroad. On one hand, what an opening. You know, I was just in Germany last week. Strange, I talk to people on the street, you know. Some people say, oh, it's wonderful. And then people say, no, it's terrible, it's disgusting. But you know what I realize? They don't know the inside of the story. They don't know the inside. Friends, I bless you to become inside people. Inside of the inside of the inside. And you know, friends, if someone tells you they love you, but they don't know the inside of your light, they're lying to you. They're looking at you like an object. They know the color of your eyes and your nose. Inside. And you know what insight is, friends? I want you to know, according to holy tradition, the light of Hanukkah is the light of paradise. Paradise, there's no evil, nothing bad, just so pure, so good. If someone comes to you and says, you know, I love you, but you have a lot of things you have to change, don't bother with them. Don't bother with them. You know, maybe they're good friends. No, they don't love you. When I love somebody, I see their inside light. I see paradise. I see this light, this eternal light, which is so deep. There's no wind which can blow it out. There is no wind in the world. And again, friends, you'll tell me, what good is it if 5 of us are Hanukkah lights? There's a big world. That's what the Maccabees fought for. Do you know that 5 people can change the world? The Maccabees were 11 people. They changed the world. There's Rick, Rich, or Rick. Want to play a little bit? Come. No, let's go. I'm just so afraid we're not in tune, but who cares? What? No, first I didn't give me your E. better than I thought. Not so bad, no? Okay, let's go anyway. Let's play in E minor, okay? What? Want to do something, friends, you know? When you kiss somebody, it's crazy. I mean, what are you doing? You're just putting your lips on somebody. If you have something to say it. And if you have nothing to say, what are you doing with your lips there, right? So I want you to know the deepest steps. There's two toilets. The Ishbitzer says, I'm putting my lips on your face, and I'm telling you that even if I would utter all the words which are available in all the languages, I still couldn't tell you how much I love you. There is no word for it. It hasn't been invented yet. But beyond everything else, I want you to know, put my lips on you, and I'm telling you, you know something? I know the taste of your soul. And you know, when you kiss somebody, automatically, you close your eyes. You know why? Because the light of someone's soul, you can only see it with closed eyes. It is so deep, it's so deep. God is so deep. You know, children, when they're born, they keep their eyes closed. You know why? They want to taste the soul of their parents first. They want to see, who are my parents? And you know, friends, Hanukkah is actually the holiday. All year long I need to close my eyes in order to see it. But then once a year on Hanukkah, I open my eyes. And when the light of Hanukkah light hits my eyes, I become a different person. Become a different person. You know how beautiful the world is, how beautiful the world could be, and how beautiful the world will be, hopefully. You know what it is? I want you to know something. I don't want to get involved in politics here. You know, when people tell you about what's going on in Israel, you know, I just said to someone last week, Esau complains that Jacob stole his blessings, right? So 22 years later, Esau wants to kill Jacob. Let me ask you something. How much stealing did Esau do in those 22 years? Esau kills and steals and rapes day and night. That's his philosophy. Suddenly he says, Jacob stole my blessing, right? You know what the biggest joke in the world is? People who kill each other in the thousands come to us, that we are not treating them well. It's the biggest joke in the world. It is the biggest joke in the world. You know, we only know half. We only know half. But above all, I want you to know that if not for politics, you know, I once, again, I hate to be political, I once spoke to a cousin, an Arab, and we talked to each other. I said to him, you know something? The only friends you have is us Jews. The only good friends you have. The only good friends. Because their leaders don't give a damn if they're alive or dead. They don't care. Absolutely don't care for them. They're just taking advantage of them. Do you know, friends, how much money was collected for the Arab refugees? Do you know how many billions? If they would give it out to the poor refugees, everybody would have approximately $3 million. Every single person of the refugees. They never seen even a penny. Because they're good friends. Their leaders took it all away. Let me tell you something, friends. You know what? There's a passage in Isaiah. It says, "V'lo yevoishu ami la'olam." My people don't have to be ashamed. We don't have to be ashamed. I'm sure we make mistakes, because Israel is the headquarters for mistakes. If you make mistakes day and night, I'm admitting it. I'll never deny it. But the moment we see you made a mistake, try not to do it again. They are not mistaking. They want to make mistakes. They want to kill. They want to steal. They want to rape. You know, friends, I can only tell you one thing. I spoke to a little girl in the old city, and she said to me, you know something? I'm so glad there's Israeli police. Because my father sold me last week for $80 to an old man. But this the newspapers don't bring, right? Friends, I'm telling you something. Israel is so human. And it's human to make mistakes with Kavod. Is so careful in his life. And I want you to know, do you know how holy the soldiers are? The world hasn't seen them yet. The Maccabees haven't even been noticed yet after 3,000 years. The world doesn't even acknowledge them. I just want to tell you one fast thing, look at Chanukah. I want you to know at the end of the Yom Kippur War, and you know the 6 Day War was bad, but Yom Kippur War was more terrible because the weapons were more deadly. And I was playing in hospitals. So a girl of 16, she's a high school girl, and she's a volunteer in the hospital, comes to me. She says, can you do me a very big favor? You know, I don't have to tell you how they treated our soldiers on the other side. But us, they were lying in the hospital, one bed next to the other, treated the same way. So she says to me, I want you to know I'm taking care here of a little Arab boy, 18 years old. Now, but they had to amputate his foot, and he's so sad. And can you please talk to him a little bit? I walk up to him and I kissed him and I start talking to him a little bit. And heartbreaking, right? For what? Who chased him into a war? For what? Okay, I talked to him a little bit. Then this same girl, and she was so happy that I talked to him a little bit. Then this same girl says to me, can you do me a big favor? You know my boyfriend? was also here in the hospital. Well, there she took me up to the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor are those you can't even recognize anymore. Have no faces. I want you to know I could not believe the holiness of this girl. The holiness of this girl. She should say to me, damn those, damn them, look what they did to my boyfriend. And she had the heart, takes me first to an Arab, and then to her boyfriend. I said to my Chabur, you know, this is a simple little girl. You know why she's so holy? Because she is the daughter of the Holy Land. The Holy Land is the land of the light of Hanukkah, inside light. You know the way she looked at this Arab boy? It's inside light. Now she sees a little broken boy who has no more foot, right? Different eyes. Different eyes. Friends, I bless you and me with different eyes. Eyes who look at the world. I look at the world with different eyes. And maybe one day the world will also look at us with different eyes. Gotta sing another good song for you a few minutes. Can you all clap? It's good to clap, you know. Beautiful friends, you know, the people who have light, this deep, deep light inside, you know how they look like? Their doors are always open. Always, always. You know, sometimes you talk to a person and you can't get through to them. All the doors are closed. The windows are shut, the doors are closed. Yeah, you know, on a Western civilization level, you can talk to them. Maybe he's even a professor somewhere and has 5 books.